Sharon's probably back there and going, Mom. With the ladies who were up here came from Kauai. They're my old students. And some of them are teachers in various things. That's why they're up there. They're musicians, speak Hawaiian, compose, and make their own adornments. And I asked them, do you remember the Oli Kau? They all looked at each other. We didn't practice it. Oh well. Practice it the next time so that it's a step. There is a process to what we do. This is the altar, and the adornments that you see on the altar, the students had to find out and identify the plant. And it's a good lesson for them. The bright orange, who knows what that is? You in the audience. The bright orange vine. Right, it's Kaunaoa. That's the lei that was declared when we became Americans for Lanai. It is a parasite. Oh, who wants a parasite, right? Because then it sucks all your mana. No. It's one of the things that you see on the beach after a voyage growing. And it's a sacred plant to Laka. It grows with po'huihui. I come from family from Honaunau. The po'huihui is the morning glory growing on the beach. And it likes, the Kaunaoa likes the po'huihui. When you go out, you put a po'huihui lei around your bow of your canoe and you head out. Why? Because you want to come back and land where the po'huihui is growing. Hiaka Kapoli o Pele, sister Pele, landed on Kauai, and it wasn't the po'huihui that was growing, but the vine, tiny little purple flowers like the po'huihui, called Hiaka Kapoli o Pele. And she, Pele, bundled it up over Hi'iaka to protect her from the sun. That tells you, gives you a key. It's a protector. It's a deliverer. It's to be loved. A group of us met because I was not happy with the word Hālau. Hālau is a temporary building. And I didn't want a temporary building, and I didn't like the concept of a Hālau. Ha meaning giving breath, lau is branches to the tree.
Yeah.
So I just did not like that. And then before I called the meeting, I looked up synonyms, antonyms, then looked up the Hawaiian equivalent, and I came to the point that we are an institute, and according to the dictionary, an institute is not a building, it is a person.
Yeah.
And why did I start that thinking? Because the early explorers and researchers, they seeked out the people who had certain skills in whatever they were looking for. And that's an institute. That person is the institute. So that's who we're going to be. We're going to be an institute. We all may not have the same knowledge or skill, but we all have
a certain knowledge and a certain skill. And we can work together and proceed together in whatever manner we like.
Yeah.
That's how I came
To the institute instead of the Hālau.
Hālau, yeah.
Okay.
There were other names too. I had a dream name for my Hālau, but later on I tried to pass that name on and it did not work because it was too strong. Okay, I have to change things around.
Yeah.
And for a while, when I was the only teacher, it was Kahiko Hala Hula Hawai'i, and I couldn't pass that name on. So then I started to break it up in parts and give certain parts of it to certain teachers. Then our people would recognize these names in there. That's how I got away from Hālau and went into Institute.
Our mission statement, we are 501c3. We've been that since 1978. And our mission statement is to educate the populace. That means not just the Hawaiians, the populace, all the people in the world, to appreciate and understand the Hawaiian people and know who we are. And we have all the ologies listed in our mission. Psychology, biology. You think some of your children are learning a cute mermaid dance, but the underlying story is biology.
Was this a wish of you to do something like to start becoming a hula teacher when we
No,
just out of
that did not enter my mind at all.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So going to college, I started on that route, but I stopped. And I don't know. Doing hula with my mother, she let me, well, no. My parents sent me to hula with Auntie Emma, and my girlfriend and I would walk to go to class. And sometimes we walk along the street and look at all what animals we see. And look at the fish pond or wait to some. That was our walk. Or walk along the beach and pick up shells. Sometimes we never made it to hula. And then we thought, we watched the sun go down, at a certain, we better get home. But most of the time we did make it to class. Yeah. We started at 4 years old. That was also the beginning, of Second World War in that era. So the military was strong in Hawaii. And the Auntie Emma had her students perform for what they called USO, United States, I don't know what O stood for. to entertain the military.
Yeah.
And not having rouge and all those things. They used the lipstick that adults would put lipstick on our lips and then put lipstick on.
I did this with my daughter on Saturday for the ballet performance. Yeah.
I guess that's habitual.
Yeah.
Make do. And we performed there, and then I'm an Episcopalian.
Yeah.
So that we had summer work camps, and I used to be one of the guides. So I take a group of campers out, walk along, and show them what plants, identify plants and different things and the uses. And I told you my mom let me, I can't remember the English word. They call it peer teaching.
Like
There's an English word, and why can't I?
like tutor, no?
No. In class,
Yeah.
1-on-1 or 1-on-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never thought I'd be a hula teacher, but the experiences in my life was in the hula world, which my mom also had me choreograph when I was a young teenager and worked on. And I noticed I did the same thing with Sharon and Poha. That's why they are the way they are. Well, Poha's died, so.
Yeah, I'm taking because I'm a children dance teacher, so I started teaching ballet again only for like small age for my daughter to be able for her to participate.
Yeah.
And
I took ballet when the girls were taking ballet. I made sure they had ballet classes, gymnastics, just open these doors for them.
Yeah.
And when they had enough.
Okay. Yeah.
But in high school, the sports department wanted them to play softball, volleyball, and I told them, you tell the coach you cannot go to practice on Wednesday or whatever day we had hula. And they did. And the coaches said, nope, you have to come. I said, then you don't go to sports. So the coaches are closed-minded themselves. But they did swim for the swimming team.
Yeah.
And the swimming team coach was okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were good swimmers. And swimming is good because it's challenging yourself and then the others, because you have to work yourself to a certain stage of swimming. So we didn't mind that.
Yeah.
And my first students were swimmers. When we were on Kauai.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
And they wanted to learn from me what's called Hapahaole Hula and Tahitian.
And Tahitian, yeah.
Okay. They asked the girls, your mom teaches hula.
Yeah.
So they were my first students on Kauai.
Yeah.
And then I slowly dropped the Tahitian. Let's see, we came back from living abroad, and moved to Hilo first, and then I went to the University of Hawaii Hilo campus. I didn't want to take the courses. And when we first came back to live, it was the time what they called the Hawaiian Renaissance.
Yes.
So there were a lot of hula kahiko, and that's a new terminology, kahiko and awana. So I enrolled in those classes that they were giving.
At the university or no?
Well, when we lived in Hilo, they
Yeah.
had classes in
Okay.
Hilo. When we were in, I didn't do it in Kauai because I was already
Yeah.
on a track.
Yeah.
So it basically was in Hilo, and then there was a whole conference of this, reviving the old ways.
Yeah.
I went to the one which was held at the school on the north shore of the college, Hawai'i.
So I don't know.
There's a university there,
Yeah.
the North Shore. I should know that. And you choose the classes, and I chose a class, and it was a very, very well-known and respected teacher. That most of the kumuhula that you see today are from her school. So I was in this class with Maiki Ayu, and I'm minding my own business and doing it. And then she said, "Baby." They all called you baby. The
Yeah.
teachers at
Yeah.
that time,
Yeah.
baby. Baby, you kahea for us. And I'm going, oh no, I've never kahea before. Because I was gone 7 years.
Yes. Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah.
Between 5 and 7
Yeah.
years. Okay. And I fell into the rhythm, and it was good. She obviously liked how I danced
Okay. Yeah.
out of that whole classroom
Yeah.
of lots of people. She
Yeah.
picks me.
Yeah.
Okay. I did it. That was also the time this other well-known kumu hula came up to me. I was wearing a beautiful lei. I don't even remember what the lei was. Someone had given me a lei. And this kumu hula says, "Give me your lei." That's exactly the expression I had. What?
Yeah.
No. It's mine.
Yeah.
And I thought, you shouldn't be asking like that.
Yeah.
Give me your lei. What? It was a learning for me
Yeah.
coming back to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Manners have gone out the window.
Yeah.
Interesting. Then there were other people that I had met who I highly respect and love. Though we were not close friends, but friends enough and in the hula world that I could talk with them, and yeah. There are so many levels of love.
Yeah.
Respect for the person's knowledge and countenance and consideration kindness. And I ended up calling that spiritual humanity. That is missing today,
Yeah.
the spiritual humanity of us. There's a song that Amy gave me a copy of the
Yeah.
words. I told her, Amy, I need this copy of this song.
Yeah.
It's called These Islands.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts out, have you seen these islands? It's a nice song, and I had been thinking about many of our songs. Basically today, many songs are like that. They reflect what was and what is.
Mm-hmm.
And each stanza says, this is aloha.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the key. And today people say aloha, but they have really no real concept of aloha.
Uh-huh.
They think it's just, well, first, hello, goodbye.
Yeah, hello, goodbye.
But it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
When the old folks,
Yeah.
I'm old folks
Yeah.
too at this
Yeah.
age, but older than
Yeah.
I, would see you and they'd hug you and they'd start to say, oh, so nice to see you, and they would say it in Hawaiian, and then they would feel your shoulders and your
Yeah.
arms, and they're feeling you.
Yeah.
And that is aloha,
Mm-hmm.
because they're wanting to feel your aura first of all, and your physical body, and if you have tensions, or are you relaxed. So that's what's missing.
Yeah.
It's become a marketable word.
Mm-hmm.
So Sharon works for Lili'u o Kalani Trust.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? Our last monarch, who was overthrown by the U.S. government, established a trust
Mm-hmm.
for orphaned children and single parent who's left from the children, if any,
Yeah.
and to educate them
Mm-hmm.
and to give them an understanding of who they are so they can progress. And that part is aloha. I started to tell you, I'm proud of my ancestors, because each one of those monarchs established something for their people. Queen's Hospital was for their people. And the people now have to get that. Who are their people? Take out that part of people today. It was people of that time who were citizens of the sovereign nation of Hawaii. So whoever lived in Hawaii could go to the hospital. Queens could go to Kapi'olani Children's Hospital. That was another. To go to the elderly care, not hospital. I can't remember the name right now. Anyway, Luna Lila was the one that established that. And Queen Emma gave St. Andrew's Priory, and Lili'u Kalani gave, Queen Emma and Kamehameha IV established St. Andrew's Priory and the boys is Iolani School, and those schools are still here. Those institutions are still here. Kamehameha schools from Pauahi, they established these things for their people. And I don't think many monarchs in the world did that for their people. That's why I'm proud of them. They did not have gender discrimination, or some people will say, well, the women couldn't eat certain fish, but that's not really gender. You could participate and be a warrior if you so desired and had the skill for it. What they did, they looked at the child before being born, being carried in the mother, and feeling and thinking or feeling what that child might be when that child is born. After the child is born, then they start to feel who they are and start to train them in a particular way for a particular skill. So they looked at people with skills, not the physical.
No. But a more holistic vision of skills.
It
in
is,
a way.
yeah. That's why I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
They were miles ahead of it.
Yeah. Yes. Something. Yeah, so then you came back and you took those classes, and then you were part of the Hawaiian Renaissance then, really, because you really took
I was in those classes.
You were in those classes, and you had
I met all those people.
Yeah. And then you so, but when you was it in this spirit you started teaching hula, or was this more because people asked you to start teaching hula, or?
I didn't teach hula when we moved back to Hilo, because we were there only 1 year, not even a year.
Yeah.
Jim got transferred to Kauai, so we were split.
Yeah.
Part-time Kauai, part-time Hilo. The girls were going to school. I was going to UH Hilo. And the lady who was in charge of students and signing up for courses said to me, called me in and said, "Why don't you take more classes?" I took French and Hawaiian.
Yeah.
I gave her a smart answer. Because I don't want to. I'm not going to be here. That wasn't very nice. But she wasn't very nice either. Oh well. I had a hard time finding someone on Kauai to teach me.
Yeah.
So I just had to float, do what I knew how to do.
Yeah.
Auntie Sarah Keli'ihonipua, she didn't really teach me, physically teach me, but she consulted with me. She was a strong woman. She was the person to go to. She did perform kuahu things at our ho'ike on Kauai. And then afterwards, I think after 2 or 3 times, she says, "You can do it alone now." Okay, here I go. People had more faith in me than I had in myself. When we moved around, I always considered, and I know I made the girls also that way, Hawaii was home and Maui was home. So I'm back on Maui, but Maui has rejected me. I'm non-existent. Not all Maui, but some. So it's okay.
I don't know why it makes me so sad. Because it's like a whole race dying out. So these birds are gonna die out, but it's like the Hawaiians. So anyway, this melody was composed by Keahi, who's sitting right behind us. Here she is. And it's to bring awareness to the Hawaiian birds that are endangered. So go and volunteer up at Maui, up in Olinda.
I told Sharon, this is going on the recording. For the first time since 1983, I watched Mary Marnock. And one reason was I wanted to see what rules were maintained from 1983, or did they change the rules? And they did some rules. And then I heard the interviews giving so-and-so complimentary, and the Mary Marnock said, the best thing that happened with Mary Marnock was we included the male category. And tears started rolling down. I said, Sharon, it's Dad and I who suggested to Dottie and George to have the men included. And the meeting with all the kumuhula there said, what? Men? They don't dance. Yes, they did. So I don't get any recognition at all. Mom, you don't need recognition. Well, it's sure nice to have a pat on the back sometimes. So that's the way it goes.
Kino hila Kaulika Kauika iu, ke kiwikiu, I ka wekiu o hanawi. O lena lena, nau e maka, nuku makili, I ka la'au.
Yeah.
So a former student said, "Oh, Mrs. Bailey isn't into competition." Yes, we did competition, but
Yeah.
she's more exhibition,
Yeah.
and that's true.
Yeah.
I don't like competition.
Yeah.
I'm not a good capitalist.
No, you're not a good capitalist.
Competition is good to a certain point.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's good for honing your techniques,
Yeah.
but after that, it should be for joy.
Yeah.
And when I decided that we were not going to do any contests
Yeah.
at all,
Yeah.
which was after 83,
Yeah.
I lost a lot of students
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because they like that competitive edge.
Aspect.
But they have no idea, my students,
Yeah.
I don't know about the others,
Yeah.
how much it cost
Yeah.
and how much time it took to keep practicing the same old songs
Yeah.
to perfection. And now they have these cameras around, this is what I saw, and they're dancing to the cameras.
Yeah.
And I'm going, what is this?
Yeah.
Leo le aka akiki, kaka I kahima hale pa'akai. Kahiko ia I ka hulua hina, a pili pa'a kona hoa. Ua ka palilio a keke'e, unana ia I mohi. Mele ma'o mehe makaki'i, o kiki muana I ka pa'ina.
I was interested in languages.
Yeah.
As a child,
Yeah.
I was interested in languages. And I wanted to be like the ancestors who picked up English quickly. And then they could speak Latin, they could speak German, English, Spanish.
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah.
That's what I liked as a
Yeah.
child. And also as a child, my favorite song was those faraway places with strange sounding names. So
Yeah.
marrying Jim
Yeah.
was the best thing to open that door to faraway places with strange sounding names and to different languages and cultures.
Yeah.
Why? I'm not sure why, but my father had World War II books,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to look through
Like,
those,
and see all the. Yeah.
the war things,
Yeah.
and the interest.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that my father had his father and mother's recordings, the old roll that spun, had those, and my parents didn't scold us. They were working, and we played with those. Listen to those, and another one with the phone. And we played with those. I called it play because that's basically what we did. We wanted to hear what was on all of those things, and there were operettas and Hawaiian music and other things. And then they had this 3D cards, or what you put the glasses on and 3-dimensional, it will come out.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why our minds were that large.
Because you had all this.
We were surrounded with it. And we played a lot, but we had chores to do. My brother cheated on his chores. But my mother went out to test the ground. He just wet the top of the leaves. You come back and water these plants. So that's how we learn to be honest. It's a process to tell somebody, be honest. If they haven't gone through a process of cause and effect, they wouldn't know how to be honest. And I'm telling you this because it's something that our parents taught us. First, you have to know how to be honest. And my mother would say, "You're lying. I see it in your eyes." Okay. So that's an educational process of reading body language. And that's why it's important for hula dancers to follow the gestures, especially of their leading hand or arm or foot or whatever part of the body.
Yeah, because it's part of this following. You don't cut it off, but you really go the whole way.
Yes.
I think.
The Hawaiians would say it's a puka through.
Yeah.
A puka is a door,
Yeah.
so you go through that door.
E o mai e ka lehu lehu o a kohe kohe o kiwikiu o a kikikia o a keke'e e ho'oheno I nā manu e ha.
Yeah, I had on my list. I had this question. Actually, the Hawaiian knowledge or Hawaiian word
I started that on this video to learn to be honest.
Yeah.
And I said there's a process. And then it's really the 4 words of my parents. So the next step is malama, to take care of things. So that's where the chores come in. And if you have a dog, you take care of the dog. You have a cat, you take care of the cat. And that's malama, to take care of the yard, take care of the house. My sister and I divided the one weekend general house cleaning, living room, bedrooms, bathrooms, and the other one would do the kitchen and the lanai, and the 2 boys would take care of the yard. So that's ma'alama, taking care of things. So that too is a process. Kokua, to help, without expectations. So it irks me, my hackles go up when I hear give back to the community or give back to. Hawaiians never gave back. Once they gave you something, it's yours. You do what you want with it. That's why my hackles go. We don't give back. You give, no strings attached. But you can kokua, and that is help without strings attached. So I tried to teach that in Monday's class. If you see your person next to you that needs help with the pa'u, you go and help.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
Yeah.
You just help. That's kokua. So that was the general foundation of what we grew up on. We had to grow up on listening well. And telling time not by the watch, but by the sun and where it was on the horizon coming. We lived on the west side, so it was setting sun, noon sun,
Yeah.
setting sun. And my parents were good with the process. And if we did something wrong, we were punished, not whipped. Like, which hand did it? You know, that's how we were brought up. And once our chores were done and we didn't have guests, when people came to the house, they didn't come to the house. They stayed out on the road and called to the house. And the children never answered, never went to answer. We told our parents. Somebody, if it's someone we knew, somebody so-and-so is calling. If it's somebody we didn't know, we could, there's some stranger calling. That's how you learn. We were never basically around when they had guests. If we were around, we had to be very quiet. You know, the old adage, children are seen but not heard. And that's the listening.
Yeah.
You listen to what's going on. You're not part of the conversation. And for hula, one year for Mary Monarch, we did a dance that we blew, they like to call it today, the hihivai, the freshwater opihi from the river. We blew the river, I mean, the shell from the river. And we woke somebody up. I think one of the judges was asleep. I think that was But people, younger people did not know what that was.
Yeah.
But the older ones, you did that. You know, it brought memories back to them.
Yeah.
And we'll take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a break.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Shalom kefi. The mail. That's for you, right? Are you going to open it? If a guest came out to the house, a friend, and it's mango season, parents would say, go pick some mangoes. So we would climb the trees. I love climbing
Yeah.
trees. But 10 years ago, Jim told me, you get out of that tree. 2 years ago, Sharon said to me, Mom, don't you climb the ladder anymore.
Yeah.
So we climbed the trees and picked mangoes for the guests to take.
Yeah.
That's what sharing is about. We don't share culture. We can exchange culture, but that's both sides learning. Hawaiians share by giving, not by taking.
Okay, where do you folks want to go? Lilo? Okay, we'll go to Lilo.
So our parents were our teachers on many levels. Both parents were plant people. My mother more on medicine. My father, useful plants that he could use in whatever he was making. And my father took us camping and hiking in the mountains, each of the valleys.
Yeah.
And that's how we learned.
Yeah.
He took the neighborhood kids
Yeah.
and he told us, don't camp at the edge of the stream. Look for high ground. And don't take the stones that are embedded in the stream. Leave that there because that's what keeps the water. Just these different things that are Hawaiian things. And we learned that from them. And I'm not a fisherman, but my father taught the neighborhood male kids fishing. My mother cooking. They spoke Hawaiian. Well, my parents one evening at the dinner table asked us, would you like to learn to speak Hawaiian? And there were only 3 of us. My youngest brother wasn't born yet. So I was the oldest. I looked and I said, no. Nobody speaks Hawaiian today. This 3-year-old kid say no. And they said, oh, okay. So they spoke Hawaiian between each other, and their friends spoke Hawaiian. But then Hawaiian was excluded, and those who spoke Hawaiian in school were punished. I wasn't in that category of being punished.
Because you didn't speak Hawaiian.
That's right. Nobody speaks Hawaiian today. We all speak English. And we didn't speak Pidgin. That came from the camps. The camps, I have to clarify that. Not like the German camps.
No, the
the plantation
workers.
Yes, the working camps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they could speak, and then they picked up Hawaiian.
Yeah.
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 That's, and our cousins were all around us, lived in different homes close by, and friends, and we played with each other. One program I saw recently was a science program. The universe, the elements of life. Well, I already knew that. We're calling Hawaii. We did that. We started our program with a burst of the whatever in the universe, and the particles come down, and somehow it got into this magnetic order. And then the next thing is the water, which then the earth started to grow these microbes, and my brain goes there.
Yeah.
And then one of the scientists said, and twice a year, the sun is overhead, the light comes.
Yeah.
So the most important ones are the particles, the water, and the light. And everything else grows from that. And we had that concept in our program. I know it startled people. But who cares? And Switzerland was doing that magnetic neutrinos, and they call it the God.
An atom?
Yes.
Or the God particle.
The God
particle.
particle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I'm on the right track. Without being there, I just see things like that. And the God particle. So the program was changed according to that part of it. And this scientist said it happens, the sun is at a certain time of the year, May and June. And my mind went, oh, that's when the ancestors believe that you can sit actually in this, like a lele.
Of the sun.
Yes, for the sun to sit right in the middle of your brain, and the neutrinos they move all around. So you're channeling that to your brain, and you can do that in May towards the middle, both times towards the middle. I forgot the name. And it's really good. Wow, the ancestors knew that.
Yeah.
And they're just now finding out.
Yeah.
So, that's why I like to watch that program, the story, his story. And then it also shows Persepolis and Egypt and all these places we've been to. And what I'm trying to do is refresh my mind.
Yeah.
And then it's new information because they have new machines, technology to go deeper.
Yeah.
And the Egyptians thought they were, so the scientists say, from not Orion, Pleiades. Hawaiians say we're from Pleiades.
Yeah.
So I'm going, that's old information. I don't know where I get it from.
Yeah.
I just know that is something I know. And then reinforced by something I read outside. On my first birthday, maybe it's from that great-grand-uncle, my parents had to prepare a kalua pig.
Yeah.
The feast.
Yeah,
for the first birthday. Somebody asked me, why such a big thing celebrating the first birthday? Well, Hawaii had about 1 million people, and went down to 30 to 40,000 people. And that's why Kalakaua said, Ho'olulahu, propagate the race. And he didn't say what the race is. it's the human race. At that time, there were other not nationalities, ethnicities already in Hawaii, and mixed marriages happening, which were not approved of, one, by the Christians, and two, by the Japanese, because some of them were samurai, or higher ranking. They didn't want mixing with. And so my grandmother's name was Ho'olu.
Ha'ula.
Ho'olu.
Ha'olula.
Wailuku, yeah. And then my cousin Rosemary has that name. She has more kids or grandkids than me or my brother and sister-in-law. So the earth needs the particle, it needs the water, and the water is turned with the sun going, changes some of the water to salt. So we have a chant that is the water cycle. And we're now out of the wet season. We only have 2 seasons, wet and dry, and we're going into the dry season. And I don't like the dry season because it's so hot and we have to conserve water. I like those aspects. My father taught us those kinds of things, and my mother sort of those kinds of things. My mother was an orphan, so she went to St. Andrew's Priory. My great-grand-uncle, which would be her grand-uncle, was her Hanai parent, and he put her in St. Andrew's Priory, and she was there at age 4, the youngest child to be there. And she told us stories about boarding there, and some of her friends came to visit, school friends, old friends, and we'd sit there and listen. And she talked about going into Lili Uokalani's garden, and because it was right next door. Just little things. So we grew up in a Hawaiian atmosphere and a European atmosphere. One leg here, one leg there. But we blended it together. I thought it was a good Oh, I told you the word was a proverb in the Hawaiian. Ikaolelo ikeola, ikaolelo kamake. In the word there is life, in the word there is death. And how it was pushed into my brain and my cousin's brain. Her mother did the same thing to her. Was watch what you say. You can encourage, or the Hawaiian was encourage, give life, or you can kill it. That's what make is, to kill it. Watch what you say. All my life growing up, watch what you say. But then I figured out in my adult life, the word is Christ. He's the word from God. Okay, I understand that. And I even had an argument with my uncle, who was my godfather, about Christianity. And God will only take X number of people into his mansion.
Yeah.
Mansions. No, he won't. It's for this, for that. No, it's for everybody. Me answering my godfather.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. I don't know. My brain somehow just goes. That's not true. And as a child, I used to think of the Mother Goose nursery rhyme. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but words cannot hurt you. And as a kid, I'm saying, that's not true. The words cause the sticks and stones to hurt you. So, no, it's what you say. And that's what the people don't get here. And then the other one is, and I can't find where it is. I thought it was in Isaiah, but I can't find it. And I'm not exactly sure verbatim for it, but if you tell someone that he is stupid, he will begin to believe it, and he will become stupid. So, and I saw it years ago, and I didn't pay attention. Then my late adult, because why was I thinking? When I was young, and we played with everybody, but nobody called mixed ethnicity. We didn't call, oh, you Kanak. That was a slang for Kanaka, but a degrading.
Yeah.
Oh, you Hālau, a misinterpretation of Hālau being foreigner.
Yeah.
Instead of white. Hālau is a foreigner. I told my nephew, look, start changing this. Hālau is a foreigner. In Pi'ilani's genealogy, Kanaloa came, he's mentioned in the genealogy as a foreigner. So where was Kanaloa from? South. So he's the foreigner that came up.
Yeah.
They're tinkering with our language and our culture, and we don't need that. It's like no trespassing. Mm-hmm. Hawaiians didn't have no trespassing. We had kapu, and there are several kinds of kapu. And the real meaning of kapu, besides all this stuff, is procreation. A tree can have a kapu sign around it. Don't pick the fruits or anything, because the fruits are going to fall down and another tree is going to grow. Certain fish have a kapu sign certain seasons of the year, because they're going to have baby fishes or whatever it is. That's what it is. To understand the metaphoric of that language.
Do you think they can learn it?
The students, you mean?
Yeah,
the Hula
students.
students? That's an interesting thing. I think, yes, if they're listening, but Americans have a hard time listening. They're too much in their brain.
As we
The beginning ladies are interesting.
Yeah.
They're just learning this stuff. First, most people start with counting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in hula, when you count 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth count extends further than 4.
Okay. Yeah.
And that happens with the voice too.
Yeah.
How the voice is carried in the dance. There's some extensions. And I have to stop them from staring. Let's see. Rule for hula is basically follow your gestures.
Yeah.
And you basically follow the extended arm,
Yeah.
unless you mean
Yeah.
the arm that is on the inside. So they're
Yeah.
don't stare.
Yeah.
Follow your gestures.
Yeah.
That way the people will follow what you're doing.
Yeah.
But when your eyes don't go there,
Yeah.
then they don't know where
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the students don't get is that the footwork is more important than the hand and arm work.
Yeah.
It's not only the arms tell the story, the whole body tells the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depends on how the upper torso is moving,
Yeah.
or how the head is moving,
Yeah.
or how the hips are moving, and how the feet are moving. They don't go deep into
Yeah.
why, because
Yeah.
it's not only the arm,
Yeah.
it's the attitude of
Yeah.
the upper torso,
Yeah.
or what happens on the head, or
Yeah.
and the terminology to go along with it. They don't know the metaphoric language.
Yeah.
If you had, I used to do this in Europe, go over the song, and I slide the Hawaiian dictionary over to somebody. Okay, look up this word. And then they look it up, and they see the meanings, and then they get to understand the metaphoric language. We would discuss it. So take the flower. It's really simple. A flower is a flower, but a flower is a person. And you have the flower in certain positions of blooming. And you have a person in certain positions of coming to full bloom. So it's the same thing. You just have to, it's not really the same thing, but when you can understand that, then it becomes the dancer then becomes the story and not the dancer. So the dancer becomes almost like in a trance, but not a trance. You're in the story and you're portraying the story. I remember coming back from living abroad, and we moved from Hilo to Kauai, and I learned a couple dances from a well-known teacher, and we performed for him for Aloha Week, and I was dancing, and this photographer came up to my face, and that took me out of my dancing, took me out of my story. Really, that's what I did, actually. What are you doing in my face? it's just interesting. And I learned from going to Europe
Yeah.
all of these things. And it's more of the mechanical or the technical execution of the techniques of it, which gave me insight on how to hone it and then help them
Help them
to achieve it. Then it's up to them how much they accept and retain. I really enjoy the classes
Yeah.
because that's where I can be who I am. I'm old-fashioned, yeah.
Yeah.
But if they don't get it right, especially when I know how to fix it
Yeah.
and they're not listening,
Then what can you do? Yeah.
I had to write a letter to my European students recently.
Yeah.
And the one section, two sections, I said, I've taught you how to pray, how to chant, how to dance, the techniques, and I went down a list of things that I've taught them. And then I said, you have to learn kako. It's not oko, and it's not oe or mau. And then I also, in that letter, said that the people in Hawaii have the same problems as you do. And so some are going through medical things that need attention. Some are going through grief things that need attention. Some are going to financial. They have problems. But they say, the Hawaiian students say, you are lucky because you have Roselle and Jim with you for 1 week or 2 weeks. And we only have them and Sharon for 1 day. And that's why we take longer to learn. Count your blessings. Makes a big difference. It's living together and practicing those things that I talk about.
Instead of just coming for an
1
hour.
hour and a half maybe, or
Yeah, I think that's what I felt when I was with Andrea and Anna,
yeah,
because it was it was the whole thing.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it is the whole
Yeah.
thing, yeah. And I feel sorry for the students here because their lives are so like a rat in a
in a wheel.
yes.
Yeah, like a hamster.
Yeah, and they cannot really they will have some vacation time,
Yeah.
but still, it's not enough for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that was in that letter
yeah.
to
To them.
say you're lucky. You've learned a lot. Now you have to use your initiative, your imagination, and your skill with what you've learned.
Yeah.
Be creative. That's what I do. I'm creative. I take the challenge. Will you cut hair? Okay. You're good enough to go on your own now. Okay.
Yeah.